Hello, everyone. Hi, Susan here. We are broadcasting live from the beautiful downtown Cloud City, or Sideshow Collectibles, wherever you want to pretend that we are, because you can't prove that we're not there. Anyway, thank you for joining us, everyone. We have a great lineup of products to show you today, including an Imperial Probe Droid 6-scale unboxing, these two guys next to me, and then we have a little special guest from a galaxy far, far away that we're going to be featuring later in the live stream. So thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Giveaways. Did we announce giveaways? Did I say anything about that? I don't think I did. Okay, so we're going to be giving away at sideshow.com/live contest a chance for you to win an Imperial Probe Droid 6-scale figure and the Chronicle of the Underworld book from our Court of the Deadline. We're also going to be talking about that, featuring it. You can see, kind of the backstory of the Court of the Dead in this book, so be sure to enter at sideshow.com/live contest for your chance to win. We're going to be pulling the winners at the end of this live stream. So we're pulling the winners live. Enter the contest now, and you'll see if that you won later in the show. So I think that this would be a good time to mention that if you're in the comments right now, you should be saying hi to Lucy. Everyone say hi, Lucy, because she's in there answering questions, fielding comments. If you have any questions about anything that we're showing you, she can answer them, or she can get them to me and I can answer them. But tell Lucy your favorite color and your birthday, because she might send you a card. Really? Right, Lucy? Right? Sorry, she might not. Anyway, also, if you see anything here that you like and you'd like to share the live stream with your friends, feel free to do that. Just hit share and you can post it on your own Facebook page. So let's get started. I have these two guys here. This one, Superman premium format figure. If you are interested in him, you want to go to sideshow.com/SupermanPF and you can take a closer look at the Kryptonian in all of his glory. Now, he's in his classic Superman costume, as you can see. The red and the blue and just everything that kind of is iconic about Superman is in this pose right here. He's standing on a Fortress of Solitude themed base. Personally, I don't know that I'd put my Fortress of Solitude at the North Pole, but he did, so it's very ice themed, very Superman, very classic Superman. His costume is made of fabric, but as you can see, the cape is sculpted, so it really has weight to it and you really feel like he's about to start flying. He's such a classic character. I mean, what other character has like the power and just posture that Superman does? I really, really love Superman. So if you want to add him to your collection, you should know that you're going to want to clear off some shelf space for him, because from the cape to the other side of him, this is 16.5 inches, so he does take up a good amount of space on your shelf. Yeah, he costs $399.99 and he is shipping soon. So if you're interested in him, you're going to want to go to sideshow.com/SupermanPF. That is sideshow.com/SupermanPF. And you can even sing a little song while you do it. It's kind of fun. So I assume that you guys are kind of like big Superman collectors, because who isn't? Superman is just such a iconic character and just a staple and the like glue that holds the DC universe together in a lot of ways. So we have here, another version of Superman. This is our Superman Red Sun premium format figure. I almost said PF, but PF stands for premium format. This is based on an alternate storyline of what would have happened if Superman had landed in the Soviet Union during the Cold War. So as you can see, he also comes with a costumed, like a fabric costume look, and the iconic cape, which is sculpted to, again, it's so important for Superman's cape to have like a weight and a flow to it, and so that's what we've captured here in these sculpts of this cape. He's standing on a base which kind of like takes an, ooh, let me move my coffee, sorry guys. It takes a twist on the classic Superman logo. You can see that it's the outline of his figure, but that it actually has the hammer and sickle in it, sorry. Yeah, it really helps tell the story of Superman Red Sun. It's part of a bigger line of Red Sun statues, premium format figures, that we actually have a video, right, to show you. So that's, if you're interested in him, you're going to want to go to sideshow.com/redsunpf. That's sideshow.com/REDSONPF. And you can take a closer look at him, get some specs, see if you have enough shelf space for him and his counterpart, which hopefully you do, because they look so good just like next to each other like this, you know, like Superman, and we like Superman. Cool. We have some DC news for you. Speaking of Superman and iconic symbols, the DC logo changed. Sorry, I have some people in the room with me, so it's a little like awkward to just not ask them how they feel. Like, I haven't even seen it yet because I was here, so I haven't even clicked it. But is it cool? Like, what does it look like? Can you guys all weigh in? Like, remember, Lucy's in the comments, so please weigh in on how you feel about the DC logo change. It seems pretty cool, right? Good. It looks good? Yeah, I mean, I figured they'd do something because they're doing the whole rebirth thing. So it seems like something that, you know, is awesome. Like, they're just revamping the whole universe. So I'm pretty excited about it. And I'm also excited about Suicide Squad Hot Toys Collectibles. Oh my God, how exciting is that? Like 6-scale Harley, 6-scale Killer Croc, 6-scale Deadshot, like all of those characters, just, you can have them in a lineup. And it's bad guys being good or good guys being bad, or anyway, I'm excited about the Suicide Squad movie. So anyway, oh wow. Oh, it's so simple. It's just like,
she's looking at the logo.
I'm looking at the logo right now. I'm sorry, they just pulled it up for me. I really enjoy that logo. Like, it's just very like DC. I don't know. DC, it's very classic. It's classic DC. It's like a throwback logo almost. It's kind of awesome looking. Anyway, thank you for showing that to me, Dominic. Yay. And then the thing that I'm the most excited about, obviously, is that Margot Robbie mentioned that Harley Quinn's going to be getting a solo movie that will potentially have the Birds of Prey in it and other, you know, female baddies in the DC universe. So I'm really excited about that. And you guys should all weigh in on how excited you are via Lucy in the comments, because I love Harley Quinn. She's such a great character, and I think Margot Robbie really looks the part. So I really hope that she expands the character of Harley into the DC cinematic universe with her own solo picture. Maybe the classic Bruce Timm costume. I'm not going to keep my hopes up, but you know, however Harley looks, I'm excited to see that. So I just got word, like a hand signal, a thumbs up, if you will, that the Red Sun video is good to go. So let's watch the Red Sun video. I'm gonna take a little break, but while you guys watch it, because I actually kind of want to watch the video too, and go to sideshow.com/redsunpf for more information on the Superman Red Sun premium format figure.
Lucy.
And Lucy is in the comments, so if you want to like talk to her about what you're seeing in the video, if you have questions about what you're seeing in the video, she's there to answer all of your questions. And there you go.
Welcome back to the Facebook live stream here at Sideshow. I'm not Susan, but I am here to talk to you about the Chronicles of the Underworld, as well as the Court of the Dead. If you guys don't know about it, Court of the Dead is Sideshow's first independently developed project. We've got statues, figures, comics, this book, Chronicle of the Dead, that we're going to talk about a little bit, as well as any number of other things that are coming out for this immersive world that we've created. It's made by one of our guys here, Tom Gilliland, and he has developed a fully encompassing universe. Here's the story where it stands, kind of. Heaven and hell are at war. So, in between this war is the underworld, run by Death. Death is responsible for feeding the souls of humanity to heaven and hell to fuel their war. The thing of it is he doesn't really want to do that anymore. He wants to act on behalf of humanity. He wants to save humanity. So Death is, acting on our behalf, created this court. Now, within the court, you've got three factions: bone, flesh, and spirit. Each have got their own personalities. Each have got different leaders and people taking care of things. There's some infighting in amongst them as well, but they're all driving for the greater good. Now, you can get all of that kind of information here in the Chronicle of the Underworld. This is the first book that we have put out that features all the kind of background about the universe and the story that you could possibly be looking for. You're going to find out about the characters, like the ceremony right here, and we've got beautiful art. We've also got bits and pieces of text from Malvestros that is running. You're right, you good?
Yeah.
Malvestros running through the copy as well. He's sort of our fourth wall breaker. He's going to be the one that gives you the inside scoop as to what's going on in the court and throughout the rest of the world. So this book, by the way, is now available for pre-order, and you can visit sideshow.com/chronicle, COTD. That's sideshow.com/chronicle, COTD. It's available for $35 right now. But what we're going to do is, Susan mentioned it earlier, we're going to take 2 of these books and then send them out to you all. So if you enter the contest at sideshow.com/live-contest, you have a chance to win one of these books. And you're going to get it before anybody else, because I've got a stash of them in my office, and we're going to send one out to you. We're also going to have Tom autograph it just to be a little bit more special for it. So, sideshow.com/live-contest for a chance to win the books. And now we've got a video about Court of the Dead that you're going to want to check out as well.
Hi everyone, we're back, coming to you live from a basement in Hogsmeade. That's right, you can't prove that we're not there. So, I hear you guys learned a little bit about the Court of the Dead. Are you excited? Remember, Lucy's in the comments, so she can, field how excited you are, and maybe you can even shout out which faction you are and which character you want to dress up as for Halloween. So remember that we still do have a contest going on, and it's sideshow.com/live-contest, where you can enter for your chance to win the Chronicle of the Underworld. 2 copies, apparently. I heard that you're getting 2 copies now. That's awesome, and signed by Tom. So, what a great prize. Anyway, the other prize you could also potentially win is this Imperial Probe Droid 6-scale figure, which I'm going to unbox in just a second. If you're watching this as a recording, remember that you can still go to sideshow.com/live contest and see what you're entering there. Like, I think it's the same prizes. We might throw in a couple different prizes. No, we won't. It's actually the same thing. I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's the Imperial Probe Droid 6-scale figure, and then also a Chronicle of the Dead book as well. So if you're watching this recorded, do not fret. There's still chances for you to win. Anyway, here's the Probe Droid. Are you guys excited to see it unboxed? I'm sure excited to unbox it for you. It's from, obviously, Empire Strikes Back, the Hoth sequence, kind of the beginning of the movie while, you know, they shoot the probe droid onto Hoth, he takes the information, and then he sends it back to Darth Vader, and then they catch the rebels. So let's just get right to it with the unboxing. So if you like this guy, you're gonna wanna go to sideshow.com/probedroid, and you can check him out and all of his specs. So let me just turn it around so you can see. There's a little tab. Take out the tab, don't just rip open the box. Take out the tab. I'm gonna actually put it on the floor right now because it's easier to get out that way. I apologize, but there we go. Take out the white foam, keep the instructions, because this guy has a lot of pieces, so be careful with him. Box goes over there. All right, let's get out all these pieces. So that way I can get rid of this huge thing of white foam that is probably blocking your view of the actual probe droid. So remove the foam. There are 3 big pieces and then a bunch of little ones. So let's get these guys out. This is the base. And don't be fooled by the weight of this thing. It does only weigh a pound, but it has so much detail on it that, like, you know, who cares how much it weighs. But it also means that when you pull it, sometimes you pull it and, like, there's not a lot of weight to it, so just be very careful with it. It is a 6-scale figure with a lot of articulation, so it's delicate. And please be careful when you pull these guys out of their foam because, again, it is a delicate figure. It could break easily. Not that easily, but still. For example, this guy's stuck in the foam. Here, let's get this guy out over here. And I don't want to just pull it. There we go. So let's get rid of the foam. Now, the Imperial Probe Droid 6-scale figure not only has a light-up feature, but it also has a squawk box. So that means that it has a sound feature as well. Let's get all these things visible for you. In order to activate that, you're going to want to activate the batteries. So you just, to show you guys what I just did, you twist. This is all in the instructions. Be careful. There are antennae that are extendable. So please be careful when you take that out. Do not break the antenna. It's also I'm going to do this while holding this so I don't bend them either. There's a tab. Pull out the tab to activate the batteries. And then there's a switch. And you switch it from on to off to on. Okay, so put it back on very carefully. You match up the tabs with the gaps and give it another little twist. And then set it aside while we put together the rest. So this is the floating base. Boom, done. Floating base. And here's the thing about the bottom is the bottom, so this is the bottom of the Imperial Probe Droid. It's really hard to get them on camera, but trust me, they're very visible and very easy to spot. There are numbers on the bottom of the base that correlate with the cool arms and gadgets and articulated hands. So this one, there's some foam there. Okay. So this one is number 3. So you see number 3 it's right there. You match number 3 with number 3, which is right here. So you just put it in place. This is number 2. It clicks. So when it's in place, it clicks. That way you don't have to worry like, oh, am I doing the right thing? am I putting it together the right way? You don't even have to worry about it. It clicks. We make everything really easy for you guys. Click. And I think it already clicked because it's obviously in there. This is 5. Be careful. This one, 5 has like an articulation towards the top, so that's not the click of it in place. That's the click of moving the probe droid's arm. And then here's 1. Click. We also have other little doodads that go in place. These are also all in your instruction sheet. So be sure to follow the instructions to be able to put this together correctly. And these are like the guns. So there are 3 of them. And these also, it's like playing a game with a child a little bit, because like this has 2 little, you know, little spikes. It goes into the place where there are 2 little spikes. It is a very delicate piece, so please be careful with your Imperial Probe Droid. There we go, click. And then see, this one is a square. The square goes into the square. The hexagon goes into the hexagon. I have a 2-year-old niece, so this is like literally something that I'm used to. You put the circle in the circle, and you make sure it clicks, because if it doesn't click, that's what happens. Please click. There we go. So that's the bottom. We can put him on the base, so that way he floats and he spins. Okay, and now to get the top onto this guy, you match the tabs with the inserts. He goes on. Hello. Burp, 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 burp. Burp, burp, burp. Burp, 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 burp. And there you go. That's our Imperial Probe Droid 6-scale figure. Now remember, Lucy is in the comments asking any questions. Any questions that you might have, you can ask there. She has all the information about the Imperial Probe Droid. And if you are really super impressed with this Imperial Probe Droid and you want to learn everything you possibly can about it, you go to sideshow.com/probedroid. Plus, there's a live contest happening, and you can win a probe droid, sideshow.com/live contest. So all of this, in all of its glory, it comes with lights and sound. I don't actually know how to turn on the lights and sound, to be honest. I'm sure there's a button somewhere. Yeah, do floating hands want to tell me how to turn on the lights and sound? Anyway, so he does not come with a self-destruct feature, and so don't worry about him blowing up. You might have to worry about him delivering information to the Empire and giving away your location, because that's really what the Imperial Probe Droid kind of did. But I think something that I'm really impressed with about it is that it's much bigger than I expected. Like, as in, if this is the 6th scale of the Imperial Probe Droid, like, what size was that thing? Like, I guess it had to have been close to the size of like a meteor, because that's what Luke saw and thought that it was a meteor and went to go check it out. And then the Wampa happened, and then, you know, the rest of Empire Strikes Back. So I have my crew trying to figure out how to turn him on right now. But if we can't, we do guarantee you that he does turn on, and he will make his classic noise when you turn him on. There you go. I think that we have a video about him, and you can also see his light up features and hear his sound on this video. So I apologize that I don't know how to turn him on, but check it out in the video.
live.
We're live?
Yep.
Hi. Welcome back to the Sideshow live stream. We're still in the Hogsmeade basement, but we managed to sneak a Dark Lord of the Sith, or the Knights of Ren. I apologize. He is the Knights of Ren. There's been no mention of him being a Sith or not yet. So, I just gotta, no, he's not. Okay, so he's not. But this is the Kylo Ren premium format figure in all of his premium format glory. This is another quarter scale figure, so he's very tall and does have like a weight to him. So he's available for pre-order now at sideshow.com/Kylo. I think the most amazing thing about this premium format figure is the detail that goes into making him. His robes go through a very rigorous printing process. They actually have to be put through the printer 8 times in order to bring up the texture to make it screen accurate. So this guy is in fact like a very screen accurate version of Kylo Ren. He's the first premium format figure in our Force Awakens line of premium format figures. So he's just really impressive, and I just really enjoy taking a look at everything he comes with. His exclusive is he has a swap out fist and a lightsaber hilt that you can attach to his buckle. One of his features is you can pose his robes in various ways that you want. So there's wiring all the way through. You can remove his hood to reveal his helmet and kind of take a better look at him showing you the dark side and like freezing the blaster. I like the pose. It's just very imposing. It's very Kylo. So I think we captured him in a very amazing pose. And I want to say classic, but can you really call him classic yet? I think that he's set to be classic, but he's definitely
classic.
He's an instant classic. He's the new baddie in Star Wars, and obviously incredibly intimidating. So I think we captured his power in this figure. If you order him now, you can get free shipping on him in the United States. So head on over to sideshow.com/Kylo and pre-order him right now in order to get free shipping on him. I think it's time to choose winners, right? Yeah? Do we have the winners? Our live winners? In one moment, we will have live winners that we can show you. But first, so you guys were... Whoa, hello. I have floating hands. Floating hands that figured out how to turn him on for you. Burp, 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 burp. Yay! So thank you, Floating Hands. We're just going to put him to the side right now. So last week we featured... Hi. I just saw the camera move up and look right at me. Last week we featured this little guy known as Ant-Man, who plays a rather large part in the Civil War movie, despite his size or because of his size. But we wanted to give you guys a chance to purchase him with a code that is Ant-Man. So go to sideshow.com/Ant-Man, enter the code Ant-Man, and you can get these Artist Mix figures at a discount. The coupon code only lasts until Friday, so be sure to put in your order for these little Ant-Man guys, and you can set them all up around your house, have lots of Ant-Mans around your home. And that's only live until Friday. So that's sideshow.com/Ant-Man. The code is Ant-Man. And I think that this is Ant-Man because we keep talking about Ant-Man. So let's just say it a couple more times so you guys understand that it's Ant-Man and it's Ant-Man. And of course, we have All right. So we have our first winner. And I think this is for the Chronicle book. Okay, for the Chronicle book, we have William, and I can't read my colleague's handwriting for the last name. Tink. William Tink won a Chronicle of the Underworld book from our Court of the Deadline, and it is signed by the creator Tom Gilliland. So congratulations to William Tink.
I was just saying your glasses were
Sorry. Congratulations to William Tink. And this is also the Chronicle book. Our second winner for the Chronicle book is Craig Zahn. So congratulations to Craig Zahn. You have won a Chronicle of the Underworld book from our Court of the Deadline, signed by Tom Gilliland, and out to you before anybody else can get it. So that's William Tink and Craig Zahn are our 2 winners for the Chronicle of the Underworld book signed by Tom Gilliland. So congratulations, guys. It's such an amazing prize. I hope you really enjoy it. Remember that Lucy's in the comments, so if you have any questions about the Court of the Dead, she can answer them. She also enjoys if you tell her what kind of jelly bean is your favorite flavor. So that's what Lucy's in. My favorite flavor, I like juicy pear, in case you're wondering about my favorite flavor of jelly bean. So we have one more winner that we're about to pull.
If they're watching a recording, can they also win something?
Yes, if you are watching the recording, you can still enter for a chance to win. You might not be pulled live on the show like Craig Zahn or William Tink, but you also can enter for a chance to win the Chronicle of the Underworld book from Court of the Dead or the Imperial Probe Droid 6-scale figure, which we are currently pulling the winner of as we speak. It's a little nerve-wracking having to do this live, so I'm sure that it's just something that's happening, but this is what happens with a live show. Oh, okay, cool. Yay! We have our 3rd winner. And our 3rd winner for the Imperial Probe Droid 6-scale figure is David Garza. David Garza, congratulations. Yay! Yay! David Garza! Thank you guys all for playing with us and watching, and we hope that you see something that you liked. And if you're watching the recording, again, you still can enter for a chance to win sideshow.com/live contest. And he is currently transmitting all of our information to the Empire. So we got to move very quickly. See you next week. Same time, same place.
I grew up in a very small town in Maine. About 5 miles away, one way on my bicycle, was this little convenience store that sold comic books. My favorite was Jack Kirby's Commandy. His stories were fairly simplistic, and their style and pacing, the writing was very easy. It was very fast-paced, but his panels were so explosive and action-driven. This splash page to this dramatic 2-page spread, and I just said from that day on, I want to be that. I want to be Jack Kirby. I want to be the guy that writes and draws and tells all these stories. Peter and I shared a house in Dover, New Hampshire. His wife and him had rented it, and they had a spare room. So Peter and I had met, and we decided to form a little studio called Mirage Studios, which was a mirage. It was our living room. I always thought it was my job to annoy him while he was trying to watch his programs. So one night I did this sketch of a turtle standing upright. He had a mask on, nunchucks strapped to his arms, and I put it on his lapboard, and I said, this is going to be the next big thing. It's going to be a Ninja Turtle. So I did this pencil sketch of 4 of them, all with different weapons, in this dramatic pose with a Ninja Turtle logo. That night, he inked it in and added Teenage Mutant to the logo, and we were just falling over laughing. We thought it was the funniest thing ever. We got up the next day, and as I love to say, we didn't have any distracting painting work going on, so we said, you know, we should really come up with a story that tells how these characters got to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And that was around November 1983, and we started working on the first issue almost immediately. And we were very lucky early on that when the first issue sold out and sold well, and then a year later, by the time we were doing issue 4 and 5, we went from 3,000 copies with the first issue to 100,000 copies by issue 4 or 5. We were making a living drawing comics. To us, even before the movies and the cartoons and anything like that happened, the dream had come true for us that we were drawing comic books and we were able to pay our rent. We were kind of discovering who these characters really were, the Turtles, their personalities as each issue evolved, because it was an evolution. We were figuring out as we went along, and I probably heard it later in working on stories that somebody had said, the badder and the smarter the bad guy is, the greater it makes your hero look. The Shredder his costume has an interesting origin in that he came from Peter and I doing dishes one night. Peter would wash and I'd dry, and as we were working on the development of the first issue, trying to come up with a bad guy, I was drying, and there was this triangular metal cheese grating thing. I was drying the inside, and I sort of my hand up inside it with these little cheese grating things. I'm like, oh man, would you Do you imagine a guy that had this on his arms as a weapon? He'd be like the Grater. He'd be like Great Man. And Peter was like, how about Shredder? He'd be like the Shredder. So we loved the name, and through a couple different versions of the costume, we came up with Shredder. When you look back, what Peter and I did initially was only 15 issues. There was the first 11 issues, a 4 one-issue microseries, and that was the foundation for the entire Turtle legend, I guess, for lack of a better term. That's the foundation that everything else was built upon. One of the coolest parts of having created something like the Turtles, when I go to shows or do signings, whether it be, massive shows like, San Diego Comic-Con, or doing small signings for a neighborhood comic book store, the fans are what is the most awesome part, and they all have a story to tell, a personal experience. They were touched by either the characters, something that you drew, or something that you published. When I first was, first going to shows, I remember meeting Jack Kirby for the first time. I thought I was going to pass out. I always said that, man, if I ever have fans, that's what I want to be. I want to enjoy that experience with them. It's contagious, it's invigorating, it's inspiring, and it really makes me want to work harder and do a better job. And it's just great to meet these awesome people, because they're very sincere, and when you look back to where we started and what we did with the first issue in 1984 and reach this sort of iconic status, that is pretty cool, and it's great to be a steward of something that awesome.
How do you take something that's so iconic, and how do you improve upon it? The movie Alien is what drove me to get into this business. It's amazing to me that I got an opportunity to work on Aliens and to have a hand in creating this whole franchise.
Truly a movie that was frightening, something that nobody had seen before. Giger's design, it was actually scary as hell.
When you think of things that are out there in the dark, that's kind of on the top list of 5 things you do not want to encounter. It never seems to go well for those who do.
From the first movie, one of the things that, as a viewer, that you got was a lot of questions.
There's always been some gaps in the storyline. I think a lot of fans would love to see what could be.
The next question, perhaps, would be, if there is a queen, probably there is a king.
There's something very free about just taking the ideas that we love about Alien and aliens and this whole mythos and just being able to run with it.
Early on, we had a very interesting design that had a number of challenges to it, but was really aimed at, can we create something that feels like it has a complement to the Queen design?
There are some elements that had been already established, and you have to respect that.
Amilcar can conjure some incredible surface texturing while also keeping a really great sense of what overall form does.
It was wonderful for my artist to see, what he did, because his foundation was fantastic.
Some of the structure on the carapace on the head is a little bit more spiny, a little bit more rigid. It looks a little bit more dangerous. The claws, and a little bit heavier, a little bit more armored, whereas the Queen is in design, it's very feminine. If you look at the legs and you look at the feet that were in the Queen design, it almost looks like she's wearing high heels.
It was the idea that we were playing with as a team and say, hey, what if we create a lot of aliens alongside the king so we can establish more or less the measure?
They're scrambling out of their holes, they're trying to move forward. There's a relentless energy of ants or termites crawling over each other to get to you. So from day one, we were invested in trying to, come up with something new.
Usually you can tell something about the magic of the piece in the translation from when you're looking at the concept art and how charmed you were by that, and how now in the 3D realm of things it starts to add its final kind of statements to the piece.
Legacy is legacy. I mean, they're an extension of Stan Winston's studio. They did the aliens from the second movie. They did the Queen. Because we have such a strong relationship, because we've done product with them before, it was a no-brainer to go to them and kind of, solidified what we were trying to do.
I think this piece embodies the aspects of this alien world. If you're a collector and a fan, I think this will fit right in there. And hopefully maybe it even sparks some thought for a new character for a film.
We started with a really bold statement of our 3D artwork and captured people's imaginations there to such a degree that, cool, now we can kind of tell the story then.
You can take this book and you can completely lose yourself within this world.
There's just an amazing breadth of content. You'll want to tear it out of the book and frame it.
The world building challenge to me has always been something that fascinates me. And that while I think good storytelling is solid in its own right, I think it is really wonderful and certainly captivating when it's got a deeper point of view.
Up until now, people have seen the statues and they've gotten little tastes of the story, but this is actually our first time we're telling the whole story, or at least the first half of the story, I guess we could say.
The book is presented as if you are dead and you just came through into the underworld, so you know nothing about this world. It's an underworld handbook to being dead, but it reads more like poetry or like Chaucer.
It's a lot like a guidebook. You find out about the places you'll go and the people you'll meet and the things that you'll see.
It is a book that explores a world in its fullest and most realistic capacity, where we've taken this underworld and we've built it in a way that you can go, well, who am I in this world? Where do I want to go? And what role will I have?
I've never been involved with such an intense and thorough world-building exercise as the Chronicle. It's I'd say 50% art book and 50% universe handbook.
Part of the book's approach was to use a wide body of artists, and the idea was to get a broad sort of survey of stylistic approaches. So some of the art is whimsical, some of it is really edgy type stuff that you might see on a heavy metal album cover, others is what you would consider more classic sort of concept illustration.
What's special about this is that there's art on every single page. You have the text, but a picture is worth 1,000 words. So having the two of them in conjunction with each other really gives people an idea of what the underworld and Court of the Dead is all about.
I think the level of detail and artistry in those statues comes across just as strong, if not stronger, within the words of the story and the 2D art that goes with it to tell the story or illustrate the story.
We've spent 2 years on this book for a reason, and I think that's what we've been very successful in doing here, is helping each other bring our different perspectives to light in this uniformed and very exciting way.
Seeing the summation of all of these efforts coalesced into an actual tangible artifact is something I look forward to with a lot of delight.
It has been incredibly rewarding for me personally to get to experience this culture of art and artists all working together towards such a single and singular goal that everyone is so passionate and dedicated about. It's inspiring.
This book will really be the heart of what this experience can be.
The Chronicle book represents a first step, but it's going to be the first step of many into the world of original IP that I think is going to force people to look at Sideshow a little bit differently than they have in the past.